Get into my video today. I wanted to show you Gracie's little kitty house. Yeah, there's Gracie. I'm going to show them your little kitty house. No, you're not coming in the house. I want to show them your kitty house. Okay. Okay. There it is. Isn't it adorable? Have you ever seen anything as cute as this? You going to get in your house and show them how much you love it? You're going to get in there and show them how much you love it? Yeah, get in there and show them your kitty house. It's adorable. Okay, so the roof is Velcro. Oh, I don't know, you can hear that. Nice and sturdy. Waterproof. So we're going to test it out. I want to, hopefully when it rains, she'll get in it. And then we'll see if she likes it and she doesn't get too afraid. But I wanted to show you all the front and the side and the back. So that little hole in the back is now if it were to get like snow and she was being outside kitty, there's a heating pad that you put in there, and it's activated by their body temperature. But we're not going to use it because we're in Florida. But it has a nice little bottom and the inside. I wanted to show you. Isn't it cute? Just the cutest little thing. Love it. Okay, on with the show. So I help creative women reconnect with their authentic self through the creative projects and the community. So what are we going to be talking about today, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Do you ever stare at your slow stitching supplies and feel stuck because everything you make looks the same? Slow stitching got easy when I started to do this. Choose one simple project like a fabric postcard. That's what this is going to be today. And make it again and again, but just use different colors, scraps, textures, and moods. If you're tired of overthinking and want to feel excited again, do this first. Let's get started. Welcome back to my little corner for sunshine makers. If you've been feeling stuck or uninspired, today's project is going to bring your spark back. We're making a slow-stitched fabric postcard, a simple, heartfelt project that becomes totally new every time you change the colors or patterns. Slow stitching becomes easier when you stop trying to reinvent the wheel and instead reinvent the details. It's all about how we view things. You don't need a brand new idea to feel creative. You just need a fresh look, excuse me, a fresh way to look at what you've already have. And isn't this the perfect gift idea? This postcard makes the cutest Happy Mail or thoughtful tuck-in gift for friends who love handmade touches. So this is video 7, week 7 in our series with my friend Linda over at Icky Chic. And today's theme is minimalist masterpiece. So I came up with this cute fabric postcard idea for that project. So the whole, this was a challenge between her and I, using 3 to 5 items. So I'm qualifying that the fabric is one category, not the number of pieces necessarily. And then the postcard base, so now I'm actually using a vintage postcard from my mother's estate. And she had hundreds of postcards, all of her travels. And I'm thinking back even when we were kids, and because I have my husband we're still going through boxes and boxes and boxes out of her shed. And when we were kids, I was 16 years old when we went to Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, and Indiana. And on those trips, she would buy coffee mugs, just simple little souvenirs. Then postcards, because these are very inexpensive. And back in the day, I don't even know, I think you could get like 5 for $1 or something. Oh, $1.50 it says right here. Okay. Now this was from her trip. We never did get to go to Niagara Falls, and I never did get to, but she did. So then after all of us children, 4 of us were grown, out of the house, she started traveling. She was a postal carrier for a number of years when we lived in Oviedo. And so she made really good money back then. And she saved it. She was very smart. And my father was not a traveling person. He liked to hunt and fish. But when we moved from Orlando to Oviedo, then all of those days were over. We lived in the country, and he would hunt in the woods where we lived, but he really never, it was never the same. He never, it was, anyway. So, it was just us kids with my mom. And so I'm going through now probably at least 20 photo albums, and several of those, I think I have 2 or 3, are just full of postcards. So I am saving all those postcards obviously for my crafting. And so for this project, I said this is perfect. So to actually be able to mail this, you can mail it, even after we decorate it. I'm going to show you how to do that at the very end of the video. So stick around and hang out with me. So if you want to be a part of this creative community and you would like my help to reconnect with your authentic self through our creative projects in the community, then just stick around. I'd love for you to be a part of the community. And you know all the ways so that you can find me again. So 3 to 5 things for this minimalist masterpiece, which is going to be a fabric postcard that can actually be mailed. And don't skip ahead through the video. You'll love every bit of this. Stick around and watch the process with me, and then the goodies at the end of the video. So every video is going to have a surprise from now to the rest of the year. So I want you to stick around with me, and so that you don't miss any of these little things that I'm going to be doing. Okay, so the postcard obviously is your first item. It's the base. I'm going to decorate over the top of this. And then the back of it can actually be mailed. And so this is going to be a landscape postcard scene. So I went through my stash and I decided, okay, what do I want to use? And obviously now to cut it down to fit on here without going too small so that you could actually still understand what's going on here in the scene, So the first is the sky. So I found this beautiful blue and white floral that is going to be the sky. And then I want it to obviously cover the top of the postcard. And so it's going to just have to be straight across the top here. Next, I decided for a hill. Florida does not have mountains. If you live where you have mountains, or if you just want to make yours have mountains, no matter where you live. But this fabric here has this nice curve going on already. So I thought, oh, that would be perfect. So I'm going to use this curve element here to cut my little hill. Okay, and then obviously I have to stay within the length and the width of the postcard. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Okay, then next I decided I wanted water. So water at the bottom of the hill. And then from that, a little meadow. And so this cute little floral fabric is just my meadow. It's just a wildflower meadow, isn't that? And the little flowers are just flying through the air. But isn't that going to be cute on the front of our postcard? So the sky, the hill, the water, and this batik fabric is perfect for the water. And then the little meadow, the little wildflowers floating through the air. So that's it. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the next step is turning it over, and I'm going to draw. Okay, so this piece I don't need to draw on it because it's going to just be a solid curve at the top. But the hill, the water is going to be straight and the meadow will be straight. So it's just really the hill that I need to do any kind of a drawing or a curve that I thought. So let me see if I can turn it over and actually draw on it and see if I can see my writing is what I'm getting at. Okay, so let's look here. So we could I could start there. I like the curvature of that. So when I get our postcard, decide where you want to start. And I'm thinking maybe like right about here. And so this makes it so much easier. And I don't want to have it the other way around just in case my hand slips and then I don't want to write on the other side. Okay, so let's see if I can actually, like I said, all right, so I want to just, and then I'm going to come down here, go across here, and I'm going to come up here. And then I'm going to come down here. And then come up here. And then come down to the corner. Okay. You really might have to go over it a couple of times. If I had a white fabric marker, that would have been much better. I'm just noticing that I have to do this a couple of times. Okay, now let me see if I can see my pen mark. And then we're just going to stitch. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It's whimsical. It's supposed to be fun. No right or wrong. Obviously, it's just whatever. So if I don't have the perfect hill, it's okay. Taper it off right here. Okay, now let me bring my sky. The sky. Okay, and then my hill is going to go here. All right, now let me add the water and the meadow. Okay, pull this out from under here, and then I can see how much of the okay, all right, I think that looks, actually, it's going to turn out pretty good. Okay, how much, how much of this, okay, so let's pull this up here a little bit more. Okay, now pull it over to the side. Now, how much of my sky, the hill, the water, and the meadow? So, it's looking pretty good, I must say. You don't have to have the whole water element, the lake, you know, it can be. Okay, so let's see. Now how much of the sky am I going to have available? And then I can see this much of the meadow, this much of the lake, a good amount of the hill, and it looks like a pretty good amount of the sky now. You can go up a little bit more. Okay, perfect, very nice. Okay, so now next, very easy process. Glue and a paintbrush. But I'm thinking I'm going to just go with the glue stick. So this is going to be my method. All right. Okay, now keep in mind before I do that, before I do this step, let me cut down the fabric a little bit. Okay. Pin out of the way. So I don't want to have a lot of extra fabric in the way. So I want to just trim it down to fit the exact size of the postcard. All right, and then I know that I only want a certain amount of the sky. So now I can trim this down. If I make a mistake, I can always cut another piece. Okay, so let's put this piece here. Okay, that looks good. Next, I have my mountain. Okay, so now I know pull this in. We're doing good. Okay, and then the meadow. Okay, that looks really good. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I have a little more sky. I want to have a little more sky. I love my hill. It's looking really good. I'm very, very happy with that. Okay, so now I know that right here, this is my cutting line. Okay, so I'm going to just take it now and turn it, and I'm going to just eye it and cut it right here through the center of that little circles as I got my cutting point. Okay, I'm going to put this back up here. And first I want to make sure every element is the way I want it, and then I will go back and we will start to glue. Okay, now this piece, and I'm noticing a little piece of the postcard is sticking out right there, so I have to adjust it either way. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue here because it's going to keep moving, and now I don't want it to do that. Okay, I'm going to put, just using the Scotch glue stick. Okay, this is the brand that I use. Any brand that you have is fine. We don't want a whole lot. And I want to do a little bit of stitching, I think, around the edge. There we go. Now that will hold this in place, and it will not keep moving around as I'm trying to place the rest of the fabric the way I want it. Okay, so right there is where I want this. And over here on this corner, a little bitty bit right there. Okay, there, I like that. glue. Now, take this here again. I'm just going to hold this in place. And I'm going to put a little bit on the fabric here and a little bit on the postcard here. And because I'm going to stitch this in place, then I don't need to use a lot of glue. Okay, and then next is the water element. And I like this here, this part here. Okay, so how much of this do I want to see the mountain? Okay, I'm going to bring this to the edge here. I'm going to hold it here. Lift it up so I can see, and I'm touching the edge of the postcard with my scissors. So I know where the edge is. Okay, now I can get rid of that extra. And then I know, okay, I'm going to lift this up here now. And then how much of the water do I want, and then how much meadow? Okay, so I can see right about there. And again, just by eyeing it, I'll go a little more, just in case. And I would recommend when you're going to do this project, when you're doing a landscaping, make sure you have enough of the fabric. And if you don't, then you need to be really careful and more precise with the piece that you do have. If you know, no, this is the only amount that I have of that, then you really want to be very precise. Okay, and then I can decide how much of this that I want and how much of the water that I want. Okay, so I like that. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to just lift it up and put a little bit of the glue here on this fabric and a little bit here on the postcard, and holding it still in place, and then I will lay it over. And I would recommend leaving a little bit of an overlap on either side so that your placement you don't have to worry about. But this is repositionable, so you could lift it up if you needed to. Isn't that looking cute? Oh, very cute. Okay, so now I can decide, do I want to take more of this? But that's taking away from my, okay, the water. But so, yeah, so you could have more water showing or less water showing. It's just whatever you want to do. And I could turn it around this way, but no, I like this side. And I'm wondering, do I want this to have a little bit of, maybe not be so straight. Let's see. Let's just play around with that and see how that looks. I don't want to chop off the top of the flower. So I hope that you are starting to feel the creativity and are getting inspired with this project, that, hey, yeah, you know what? It's really making me feel like I'm having fun again, and I'm not bored with my slow stitching or wondering what am I going to do. That I can really see that this is really helping me with my slow stitching. So thank you for this project. So if that's how you feel, I would really love to hear your feedback in the comments. So again, for this last piece, I decided I only want this little bit of water element showing, so I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put my little bit of glue stick on the fabric again, and a little bit right here on this, Then lay it back down, smooth it. Okay, so that's all the glue that I'm going to be using. Now you may decide that you want to use more, and that's perfectly fine. And now what I want to do next is I want to stitch just around the perimeter. Now another suggestion is that instead of using the actual postcard first, you could, especially if you're going to do a lot of stitching on your fabric or adding lace and buttons, maybe, whatever, then I would recommend putting this on either cardstock first, or even just a piece of printer paper or a thin piece of batting. It would be okay that way as well, because this is really, it's a little mini piece of art. And so they could very easily, it's 4x6, get a 4x6 frame that's already, you know, matte in there, and then it would be darling as a little, you know, room decor wall art piece. And so I'm not 100% sure yet if I want to add any stitching elements. One idea that you can do as well with this is if you just put it on the, let's say, printer paper, a little piece of batting, or the cardstock, not your postcard, then you can take this to the machine and you could do a satin stitch on your sewing machine around the top edge of your hill. You could do a satin stitch across the water. You could do a satin stitch across your little meadow. So there's many different variations of adding other elements to this. So I'm thinking that I just would like to add a word tile, one of my little word tiles, a word of some kind of an inspirational word is all I want to add on here. And I'm thinking I might, it's going to, obviously I'm going to put it down here, try to see if I have something, or maybe like right here in the center, and then that would really make it that extra sweet, special gift, because now that inspiration is going to be there and they're going to be able to see that. So especially if they frame it, that's going to be really sweet. So I'm just stitching this because I am going to stitch it on the front of this, and like I said, just around the edge. So I really want to know where my edge is, so I'm going to go ahead and trim the fabric down. Okay, so let's stitch it on the machine, and then got my machine right here now, which I absolutely love. And I'm going to just do, I'm thinking, do I want to do a, I don't think I want to do any kind of a fancy stitch. I just want to do a straight stitch. Okay, so I'm going to come in just a wee bit. And keep in mind, I am going to show you some ideas of how to actually mail this. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Make sure I've got both of these pieces of thread so that it's not going to leave a little pucker. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Okay. So just using a straight stitch. I'm going against the fabric, so I have to be careful so it doesn't fold on me. Going up the other side is going to be going with it, so then the fold is not going to be getting caught in the needle. So just keep that in mind too when you're doing these. And yes, you can actually sew through cardstock or a postcard. Those are a little bit heavier material. I'm trying to keep this where it's not going to get a pucker. I'm a little closer to this bottom edge. I don't want to get real close to this edge, so I'm going to stop right there, and then I will show you. Looking at my decorative stitches now on my machine, and I'm wondering, do I want to add anything here in the sky or just go straight ahead? I'm thinking maybe across the, if I didn't already have it on this postcard, I would do some other decorative stitches. Now, this is where now I want to come in with a little bit of my liquid glue, and I'm going to use the Aleene's Tacky Glue. This is what I like to use. And then I'm going to just put little bits to hold down that fabric. Okay, so but so far, look at how cute that turned out. An adorable gift that can be mailed and used as a little add-on, a little tuck into a gift. So, okay, I don't want a whole lot, I just want a little bit. Make sure the rest of it is nice and snug, but because this has more flow going on, I did not want this to fold down by any, possibility. This here is a little bit that needs it as well. I'm going to put it right here in the center. I think that would be plenty. Perfect. And that's all you need. Very easy to do, quick and easy little project. Let me cut off these threads. Usually when it's in my junk journal, I like to leave the threads, but in this case, I don't think that's going to be a good look, so I'm going to go ahead and just trim off these little bits. And now, look at how adorable this turned out. Okay, so here in the United States, you can legally mail this just like it is. Okay, and obviously, you would have to put their address here, put your stamp here, put your return address here. You could write any little message, obviously, just like a normal postcard, like you would do it. And then put your postcard in a plastic sleeve. And then seal it and fold this down just like this and take it to the post office. So I'm understanding that this is legal, but I would not do that. I would just, or you can just bypass the little plastic sleeve. You could put your postcard, your stamp, address, everything, and you could mail it just like this. That also is allowed from regulations from the post office. But for me, I think I would rather just go ahead and put it in just a regular greeting card size envelope. So you're going to just be spending your stamp, the cost of the stamp, and then that way now you're protecting the beautiful artwork that you've done. Okay, so this could still go in a little plastic sleeve if you wanted to protect it from getting wet. Now that I would definitely recommend. That's what I'm going to do. And then you can put this in your envelope, your paper envelope, and then it won't get damaged in any way. So that's what I'm going to do with this. So now, if you have stayed around till the end of the video, because we're coming to the end, then you are going to be in for a nice surprise. So I am going to mail this to one of my viewers who is watching this video and who is commenting in the video. So leave me a comment. And for me on my channel, I would love it if you would be a part of my creative community. So if you want to be a part of my community, if I've helped you today to reconnect to your authentic self through creative projects and community, and you want to be a part here at Markets of Sunshine, then please subscribe. And also to be entered, so commenting on the video today, subscribing, and then join my Sunshine Makers Club, which is my email list. And then when you get your welcome series, you're going to get a welcome message series email right away. And you get your first one, do you want to subscribe? Yes. Okay, then the next one, you can reply to that and say, please, Marcia, enter me in the giveaway for your landscape postcard November 17th video giveaway. Okay? That's all you have to do. So in the subject line, you can type, I'm entering the giveaway for your fabric postcard. And then in the comments, in the message part of the video, go ahead and put your name, full name and address, and then I will mail this to you. And this is for my U.S. viewers only, because I don't know, I have not checked, and I don't even know how much postage would cost for other countries. But if you want to just tell me in the comments of the video what country you're in, if you do want to enter the giveaway, and I will start looking it up to see what is the cost. And as long as the cost is not over what I can afford, then I will go ahead and open it up for international. But if not, then the comments, if you leave a comment, join the Sunshine Makers Club, then and respond, and you're international, I will give you a $5 off coupon to use in my Etsy shop, Markets of Sunshine. So that's my gift to my international viewers, because I don't like anybody to be left out. Okay, and then everyone else also who doesn't win the postcard will be able to get the $5 off coupon as well. Now, so I am going to be doing a weekly video and a weekly giveaway here on my channel for the rest of the year. And so it's going to be the Wednesday video. I don't want to overwhelm myself with everything else that's going on in my life and my routine. So then our November giveaway is this beautiful junk journal. So not only is there going to be one main prize, which is going to be the junk journal every month, then also will be whatever little projects that I'm going to be making that I can put into just a regular envelope with a stamp, regular stamp letter envelope. No tracking, just gets, sent to you. And so then I will do those in addition to that. Obviously, the junk journals are mailed with tracking, so that way I know that it got there and it gets to the recipient, because it costs more to mail these. And I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate the generosity of all the makers here on YouTube who do giveaways, and the fact that this is, you know, something that we're paying for, in addition to the fact that we made it with all the supplies that we paid for. And so that's, you know, that's our love back to you, because we really appreciate every one of you. Just really love you. So if that is exciting to you, I look forward to seeing who comments, who would love to receive this in the mail. And also everyone else, if you do the steps, like I said, the 3 things, obviously most of you who are watching who comment are subscribed. But a lot of you do watch my channel who aren't subscribed yet. But if you want to be a recipient of one of my little projects for the giveaways every Wednesday, tune in every Wednesday now. And my videos are going to go up at 9 a.m. every Wednesday. And it doesn't matter. It's not like the first person to comment wins it. No. So everybody who comments, has subscribed, joins my Sunshine Makers Club, responds. Obviously, you have to respond sending me your name and address. And the subject line of that email say, Marcia, I want you to enter me for whatever the prize is. So this is our first one. And then at the end of November, then I will be doing a drawing, U.S. subscribers only, addresses only, to win this. So if you're going to be making a trip to the United States anytime soon in the month of November, and you live in another country, then hey, wherever you're going to go, just use that address and I'll ship it to you. So but it has to be in time for you while you're here. So I've had other viewers do that. And customers in my Etsy shop have done that too, and say, hey, I live in this country, but I'm going to be visiting somebody here in your country, and I've ordered this and it's going to be shipped to them. And so they planned it. They knew when they were coming, and they ordered it ahead of time, and it's worked out. So, I mean, it's something that can be done. Okie doke. So I'm so excited about this. I can't wait. Okay, now, the next video, next Wednesday, okay, there will be another giveaway opportunity. And, okay, so we are talking about vintage redesign. So we're going to upcycle vintage linens, garments, or jewelry, giving them a new life in modern textile project. Okay? That's it. Sounds like a mouthful, doesn't it? Okay. And I'm still would love to have as many who would love to join my Sunshine Stitch and Paper Crafting Club. It's not just for slow stitching, it's for paper crafting as well. And it is a listing in my Etsy shop. You get my welcome to the club letter. You get my Sunshine Stitch news little newspaper. And it's just a little whimsical fun thing that I've designed. And also the pre-made, if you choose slow stitching, you get pre-made items that you've seen me here make on my channel, other things that you may have never seen me make because it's been years and years and years, all these things are hanging around, and or the paper crafting. So just for instance, I'm just grabbing what is right here close to me. You may receive one of my little snippet strips in your paper crafting that's already done. These are going to be handmade, ready to go elements that you can use in your project. So if you are a junk journaler and you pick the junk journal one, you're going to get pre-made little goodies. And if you pick the slow stitching, you're going to get slow stitching pre-made things, like could be a postcard, but it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things. And I've come up with a really fun idea of what I'm going to do. It's a 5-pocket accordion little holder that I've made, and each pocket is going to have little goodies in it. So it's fun. And if you go to my shop and read my feedback, you'll see one of my customers that ordered it, and she was just very excited about it. So you can order October's November's, December's club kit. You could order all three. You could order one of those. And then starting January, I will be starting and adding more kits to them. And October's, November's, December's will stay there because October's newsletter is the first edition, and it's a theme. There's a theme. It's a story. It's like it tells a story as it's talking about all the fun, creative things that we do in our life with slow stitching and paper crafting. So it's something that I really think would love to be a part of. So I hope that I will see many of you start to come over to my shop and be curious enough to order one. And if you love it, then you can order one as often as you want. You can get the monthly one, and it's just a wonderful, fun thing. So thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next week and reading all your wonderful comments and see who wants to start being a part of these fun, creative giveaways and all the projects here. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe and keep smiling, and I will see you creating in the sunshine next week. Bye-bye.